Trader's Edge with your host, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters out there. Welcome to the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and thanks so much for joining me. I absolutely love being here with you, and it is terrific Tuesday. Hopefully you're off to a great start of your day. If you're not, then just change it in a heartbeat, folks. You know, the path to success, folks, the path to success is all about taking massive action and determined action, and I really do appreciate you joining us here. You know, we're going to go take a look at the massive action going on inside the markets, maybe trades that you might be in, or maybe something, you know, you're just trying to understand where the markets are going. You can always give us a call here at 877-927-6648 if you'd like. And, you know, we're going to take a look at the markets going around the world. Maybe I'll give you some food for thought today. Well, I always give you some food for thought because it's really all about being able to grow and contribute. And you make sure that each day you should be able to grow in some way, shape, or fashion. Hopefully it's not the, you know, the growth around the midsection there, but maybe how about in the upper section here in the mind, because it really is all about education, folks, and that's certainly what I'm going to do. Hopefully you're watching us here on Tiger TV. If you're listening on the radio, thanks so much for doing that. We really do appreciate that. You can always catch an archive of this show and even past shows on Channel 9 on Tiger TV. You can always watch us live on Tiger TV. Just go to the homepage at tfnn.com. Click on the Tiger TV button. You'll be able to see my charts, my screen. You might be able to see my mug every now and then. And because I'm absolutely going to go ahead and teach you something. And then, of course, today you can always you can watch the Money Master show. That's a show that Tom and I do after that. You can catch the archive of that show on Channel 10. So what do we have going on in the markets here in the overnight hours? If we take a look overseas right now in Germany, you've got the DAX trading down 35 points. That's out at 65.34. You've got the FTSE off 11 points. They're trading out at 56.44. In Italy, they're having a party. They're actually up 31 points right now. That's the IBEX. You've got the Hang Seng. Hang Seng was off 50 points last night. Nikkei up 62. And the Shanghai off 3. So really kind of a... well, you had one market that was up in essence, you know, Italy, all right, it's up. But you had the Nikkei up and you had the other four core markets that we take a look at around here that were down. Our markets right now, you got our futures are down. You've got the Dow futures down about 57 points or so. The ES mini off about 5 3/4 points. That's trading out to 1360 even. You have NASDAQ futures down 14. Russell futures down about 5 right now. That's after, you know, a fairly incredible day when you consider how the markets opened up Sunday evening with the Dow futures being down about 150 points. And, you know, and really it is all about currency. We're going to take a look at King Dollar and the Euro, the Queen. So King Dollar's up 21 ticks right now. That's trading out at 79.92. They tried pushing it down yesterday all day. They managed to do it, quite frankly. And gold is off $27 this morning, so that's getting smoked a bit. That's trading out at 16.11. You've got silver off 70 cents. That's down about 2.3% right now. That's out at 29.41. Light sweet crude down about a full percentage point. That's trading out at 97.02. And again, our call number is 877-927-6648. So let's go start off and take a look at the ES Mini. Let's look at the S&P futures contract out here. And you know what? Let me go ahead and get rid of. There we go. So if you're watching us on Tiger TV, what the ES Mini did after making it 1 to 2.618, A to B equals C to D, folks, and you want to really understand how to identify your A, B equals C, D patterns. You want to be able to learn how to buy and sell the D point. Well, when it was making this A to B equals C, D, it was really, you know, what you'd call perfect, and you had a real nice confirmation that the bulls were stepping in. They stepped in at between 6:30 and 7 on Sunday evening. How'd they do that? How'd they show us that they were doing that? They did that with this hammer candle that was out here. And folks, that is a type 1 hammer candle. There's really 4 hammer candles that are out there. This is the best one. That's the most powerful one that is out there. You can see the market tried to push down into it, coming into about 10:30 in the evening. Market just simply drifted higher. You had, as you opened yesterday between 9:30 and 10, you had some decent volume. You had about 226,000 contracts come in on the ES Mini. What's it been doing really ever since that time period? Well, look, when we opened up the show between 9:30 and 10, as the market opened, you had a low of 1359.25. Where are you trading at right now? 1359.25. You could say that the market has basically done nothing since the open yesterday. Of course, if you just simply were to go ahead and take a look at the charts, you'd see that you had the Dow futures off, the ES mini futures off. You know, you would have no frame of reference as to where you're actually at in the market. I want to be able to teach you how to read charts. Want to be able to teach you how to identify leading indicators that are out there. And leading indicators are going to be where those AB equals CD patterns are going to be, what candles are completing near those expansion or contraction points in the AB equals CD. Those are all about expansions. It's either going to be 1 to 1, 1 to 1.272, or 1 to 1.618. You do get the occasional 1 to 2, 1 to 2.618, and then you've got that big piece of pie, 1 to pi. That happens every now and then. And I missed a big piece of pie going back last week. I won't let that happen again. You know, you always really do learn more from your mistakes than you do from your or your failures, whatever you want to refer to them as, you know, versus your successes. And so make sure when you do identify some type of mistake in your life, write down what your, what exactly you were thinking at the time. What you also really want to do is you want to just make sure that, you've got, just as we talk about having a gratitude list, or at least I speak about having a gratitude list. I mean, if you're not feeling good, if you're feeling negative, all you really need to do is go to your device. Not only can you turn to tfnn.com, but on your device, you ought to have a little memo that has all the things that you're grateful for. I do it. So I'm not just, asking you to do something I would never ask you to do something that I don't already do or have already done before. That would just simply be disingenuous, and that is not what we are about here at TFNN. So where is the ES Mini traveling to right now? Well, first, let's take a look at what it actually did on the 30-minute chart here. If we go up to the highs that were established here on May the 1st, and May the 1st, you came in with a high of 1411.75. Now, the interesting thing is, if you take a look at where the market's peak last year was on May the 2nd, if we got rid of February 29th, which we couldn't do because then we'd be missing out on Polar, we'd be missing out on the Power Law Vector Indicator, we'd be missing out on David White because he was born on February 29th. But in this case here, because we did have a leap year, there was an extra day in there. May 1st, really, of this year was the same as May 2nd. Of last year. Would be pretty amazing. Wouldn't it be pretty amazing if you had the market actually top out on the same day 2 years in a row? Well, right now, that's what you've got. As you take a look at the market that was pushed down on Sunday evening, a result of whatever it is that you want to come up with. Maybe it was the stuff in France. Maybe it was the stuff in Greece. I really don't pay much attention to the news other than just for entertainment purposes. I would prefer, in fact, I make certain that what I really just look at is what the charts are telling me. How is the market reacting? What are the bulls and bears doing out there? And what I know was that the bears pushed the market down into 6:30 p.m. Sunday evening, and the bulls stepped in. And what the bulls did was the first thing that they've done here, folks, is that, and this is any chart pattern, so I don't forget about an opinion about what you have about the market. Not that you can't have an opinion, not that you shouldn't have an opinion, but when you take a look at the charts, what you want to do is you want to check your opinions at the door and see what the charts are doing. And what occurred yesterday was absolutely, textbook. You would put this in a textbook because I talk about it, and now I get to, and I get to show it to you live. My clients yesterday got a video email update as this pattern here was unfolding, as the ES Mini was simply making a move up to the 0.382 retracement. That is the normal move. That is what some will refer to as a dead cat bounce, but it is a normal move in a counter trend move. Well, in this case here, you would go from those highs that came in on May 1st all the way down to the low that came in. If you're looking at a 30-minute chart, that's going to be at the 7 p.m. candle on Sunday evening. Well, if you take your retracement ruler from the top to the bottom, and you were to put, and you really need to have three retracement areas, folks. You need to have 0.382, 0.618, and 0.786. Well, 0.382 is going to take you right into the 1367 mark. What actually happened yesterday? Well, at 2 p.m., you got up to a high of 1370. You got to love that. I wish I could see it. It looks like maybe it's really 1369 is the number, but we're not about being exact around here. We're just simply about being outstanding. This is outstanding. It's outstanding. You want to make sure that you have this in your arsenal because you want to know what's going on. Now, as the market was making that move into that 0.382 area, look at the size of the candles that are up here. They were getting smaller. There was no wide-ranging bar. It was absolutely telling you that once you got up there, that it was going to take a breather. Now, was that breather going to be nothing more than a dead cat bounce? And so let's take a look at the bullish and the bearish side of this. If all the market does is a 0.382 retracement, a 0.382 retracement, and we're to draw that A to B equals CD down, and that is absolutely one possibility out here. Your A point's going to be up at that high on May the 1st. Well, that B point is going to be the one that came in at the lows Sunday evening. Your C point was coming into that 2 o'clock time frame. Well, I can tell you this. If all that is a 0.382 retracement, let me give you a price projection of where you can take a look at that ES Mini headed down to. You're going to see it head down to the 1,300 mark. And, folks, because it was only a 0.382 retracement, actually what you're looking at is 1,282. So that is, if you are a bear, that's what you're really looking for. You're looking for the market not to bounce above this 0.382 area. It hasn't given you the signal yet, though, because if we go ahead and we blow it up here, let me get rid of the, I'm going to leave the retracement line up there. Why? Because what else has the ES Mini done here this morning? Well, let's just take a look at the retracement off of the low now. Now we got to take a look at the retracement going the other way. The retracement coming in from the low of 1342 all the way up to that dead cat bounce area where it got up to a high of 1370.25. What you can see here is all it's really done right now is a 0.382, maybe just a little bit over 0.382 retracement to the downside. We're just sitting here being treasure hunters looking for clues. But either way, either side you trade the markets, you want to understand these patterns and these candles out there, folks. It is all about education. When we get back, we'll go take a look at what's going on in the pre-market. We'll be right back in a few.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, author of Mastering Probabilities, a daily investment and trading newsletter, and teacher of the money game. Studies show that 3 out of 5 people are afraid for their life in trading these markets, and the number one reason given is fear of loss. Look, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and the money game proves it. Lesson number 1, don't risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. Why, you ask? Because 35 trades in a row where you risk 50 cents and make $1 are all you need to double your trading capital, versus the 230 losing trades in a row you would need to bring your balance to $100. Let me teach you more about the money game risk-free for 30 days. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, for your 30-day risk-free trial. You were born to be a money master, and I'll teach you how.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try patterns, profits, and peace of mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's patterns, profits, and peace of mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's just wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
It is always better when we're together, folks. Welcome back. 877-927-6648. We're going to go take a look at what's going on in the pre-markets here with earnings either released after the bell last night or before the bell. First up, let's go take a look at what is popping up out there. And popping in a big way, you've got IEC Electronics Corp. Let's see here, their Q1... all I see here is that their second quarter results were good. Well, let's just take a look at what the market thinks about them. They closed last night at $4.76. Their last trade fired off at $6 even. That's up a whopping 28% in the pre-market. Right behind them, you got Rail, R-A-I-L is the ticker symbol. And their earnings per share, 81 cents versus a loss of 11 pennies last quarter. If you take a look at, they're up 17%. They closed out at $20.76. Their last trade fired off at $24.45. You've got Lionbridge, L-I-O-X. That's the ticker symbol. They're up a healthy 14% in the pre-market. They closed out at $2.69. Last trade just fired off at $3.09. They had revenues of $112 million versus $99.6 million a year ago. Their net income $1.7 million versus a loss from the prior quarter. How about that? Of $5.5 million. They simply made one heck of a turnaround there. They're getting rewarded for it. That was Lionbridge Technology. Last trade out at $3.09, up 13%. You've got Rosetta Stone. You got to love that. Any of you ever buy one of those Rosetta Stone books? I want to know if it really does help you learn a foreign language rapidly. I'm sure that it does. And the way to learn rapidly, folks, is always to link the known to the unknown. That's why we talk about A, B, C, D patterns around here. Well, you got Rosetta Stone. They closed out last night at $10.68. They're trading out at $12.15. That was the last trade that fired out. You've got their Q1 revenue was $69 million versus $56.9. So I'm guessing either their commercials or all the stores that they have in the airports. I've seen a number of their stores. Maybe they're in the malls. I guess I don't really shop in the malls, to let you know. But they're up 13% this morning in the pre-market. You got Pioneer Drilling. They're next in line, and we're looking really at percentage-wise from the top to the bottom. You got PDC. They're up 9%, a healthy 9%. They're Pioneer Drilling. They posted a earnings per share of 23 cents versus a loss of 11 cents last year. You got Nautilus. I believe that is the weightlifting equipment. That would be my guess. NLS is the ticker symbol out there. They're up 9.8% this morning. They had sales of $51 million versus $48. Last quarter, they have revenue of profits of $2.5 million versus $161. If we take a look at what else we have, let me look for some Churchill Downs. Hey, how about that? Churchill Downs, isn't that where we just had the Kentucky Derby? Well, they're posting a 5.5% increase in the pre-market. They closed out $58.95. They just fired off at $62.22. They must have had the perfecta out there. And let's see, what else do we have out there? How about some bigger names, perhaps, that we might see to the upside? And then we'll switch over to things popping to the downside. Not really much left here that I see the big named companies to the upside. So let's go take a look at what is it that is popping to the downside here right now. It's you got Mako Surgical. They released earnings last night. They're getting hit pretty hard this morning. They're down 29%. They closed out at 41.40, trading out at 29.14 right now. Mako Surgical said it has best relative performance in the healthcare equipment industry. Well, that might be what the PR says. And let's take a look at their revenues. 19.6 versus 13 million. Well, that looks like that's not such a bad increase in revenue. Of course, they had a net loss of 11.7 million versus 11 million. How do you like that, folks? You do 19.6 million in profits, and you have a loss of 11.7. Now, there's a group, I think that you should always sharpen your interests in life. And the two best interests that you should sharpen your focus on are life and people. What kind of life is that where you're generating that kind of revenue and you've got that kind of loss? Sometimes people say that maybe when they listen into the show that maybe I motivate them. Well, if you're going down the wrong road, folks, what you don't need is motivation, to speed things up. And it looks like, revenue-wise, they're speeding things up. Nice, healthy growth in revenue. So if you're going down the wrong road, what you don't need is motivation to speed things up. And it looks like they've got major motivation. What you need is education to turn things around. Education, folks, always remember this. You should write this down. I would write it down. Education must precede motivation. If you want an education in these markets, folks, and Mako could use one here, maybe if you just want an education and learn the ABCs, how to buy and sell the D-point, go to the homepage of TFNN.com. I will give you a one-day webinar, live webinar that's coming next Friday, unlike anything else that you've ever attended, folks. See, in just a few, we'll go see how these markets are going to open.
Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've always thought about trying out his newsletter, Market Insights. Well, now is the perfect time. For a limited time only, when you sign up for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights, we'll send you a free copy of Tom O'Brien's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System. If you decide to cancel within the 2-week trial period, pay absolutely nothing and keep Tom's book as a free gift from us. Tom sends out his daily newsletter each morning by 9:30 a.m. with trade recommendations, including price targets and price stops. As recently as March 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out a position for more than a 25% profit in just over 2 weeks. To get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights, along with your free copy of The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Supplies are limited for this one-of-a-kind special, so act today and don't let this opportunity pass you by. Offer only valid for new subscribers. In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report, with over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar. The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and the Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
We're off to the races. You got the Dow trading down 66 points right now. That's about 0.5%. You got the S&P down 0.5% as well, down 7 points right now. You got the composite off just over 0.5%. It's down 16 points, and leading the charge in first place on the way down are the small caps. They're down 0.7%, down almost 6 points right now. You got Microsoft trading up 6 pennies. You've got Intel down 24 cents, Google down 33 cents, Cisco off 36 cents, Apple off $1.60 right now. We're going to take a look at Apple. If we take a look at what is popping and what is dropping, dollar-wise, leading the charge, dollar-wise on the way up, you've got Generic Holdings, GNRC. They are up $4.66. That's up 20%. You got Vertex Pharmaceuticals, VRTX. They're up 4% right now. That's $2.30 or so. You got Cognizant Technologies, CTSH. They're popping up $2. That's 3%. You got Lope, L-O-P-E. They are the Grand Canyon Education. Oh, talking about education. How about that? They're up 10% this morning. That's up $1.74. Nu Skin. That is one of the IBD charts out there. Nu Skin. I don't see anything here as to a reason why they're popping, but they're up, really not popping that much. It was up less than 1%, but they were next in line. Let's take a look at what's leading the charge on the way down. You got Fossil, F-O-S-L, the ticker symbol. They are down a whopping $32. Holy cow. Let's go take a look at Fossil before we do anything else here. Let's go take a look at that chart, see what they're doing out there. F-O-S-L, that's the ticker symbol. What do they got? Fossil tumble. They missed their revenue. Disappointing guidance. Looks like all of the above. So their earnings per share, they say, is going to be in the range of $5.30 to $5.40. You got net sales, $589 million versus $536. So that's not too bad. You got a nice increase there. What's that? $50 million or so in a quarter in revenue. Their Q1 net income, $58 million versus $55 million. So they must have really missed some estimate or something. But they're getting attacked here. Let's go see if we can get, GOSL. That's not the right ticker symbol. Steve, learn how to type here. FOSL, that's a ticker symbol. No wonder nothing was popping up on that chart. Why? Come on, FOSL. Let's see here if I refresh this screen. Because we don't want to be looking at blank screens. That's not, there we go. Now we're taking a look at Fossil. So let's go see what it's doing. Let's go see. Why is this? What is going on with my system? 92.78 is what it should be trading at. Let's just put this on a shorter term chart here real quickly. And I'm not sure whether I'm having a data feed problem or not. That's making not only is it making me slow, it's making my show slow here. Come on. Well, maybe we're not going to take a look at Fossil, at least not. Well, I'll tell you what. I know where it's trading at. It says it's trading out at 92.78 as the last trade, but I'm looking like I'm having some data feed problem here, folks. So let's assume it's trading at 92.98. What do we got at $92? Well, if you take a look at $99 was the last time this thing had any volume. It had some nice volume. You had wide price spread. You had a total of 10 million shares, and so it's trading down below that. Let me try to put this thing on a weekly chart and see where this thing, it looks, well, this thing is headed to the $77 range. That's if my numbers here are accurate, but let me go ahead and put this on a weekly chart and see how I get through the next 11 minutes, making sure that I've got a good data feed. That's pretty crazy. So it's trading out supposedly at, it can't be traded at 92.78. It can't be fixed like that. So I have lost some type of connection here. That's pretty wild. So I see some stuff changing. So let's see how Steve-O's going to punt here. Let's go take a look. You got Ralph Lauren. They're trading down $7 right now. That's off 4%. Let's try pulling that chart up here, see what we've got. If that doesn't work, I'll go back and we'll take a look at some historical charts. So I know how to get out of this mess. It's all about focus. And so you got Ralph Lauren. Of course, that shows $172, and it's trading at 160. Oh, there we go. No, that's not really where we go. Pretty wild. Okay, so let's go. Instead of this, Steve-O's going to go ahead and punt here, and then he can reboot the system when we go into the next break, try to figure out what's going on. So let's see what we can take a look at here. Let's go take a look at the King dollar. Let's go take a look at the dollar index, figure out what it is that's going on here. So you got King dollar yesterday making a shooting star. You can see how the King dollar moved up to a high of $80.14, closed out the session yesterday at $79.68. Made this shooting star candle formation. And what it was doing was also making a 100% move. That was at least getting into the candle of April the 6th. The low there, $79.94, the high of $80.38. That being said, what you're doing right now is you're trading at $79.94. Again, I said the low there, $79.94. That is on the April 6th candle. So from a bullish standpoint, number one, you still have this gap up from the weekend, so that is still out there. That certainly stopped it as the bears tried pushing King dollar down. It stopped before it got to that gap, so you got to respect that gap that is in there. That's the gap where you had a high on Friday of $79.61. The low in the intraday session, well, the low in the session from Sunday came in at $79.63. So you got a little bit of a gap out there. Today, King dollar trying to push higher. If we take a look at what's going on with the Queen, and the Queen, you've got the Queen now trying to push lower. You can see how, take a look at the U.S. dollar index, folks, is made up of 6 different currencies, the euro being the primary. I wish I could remember that percentage off the top of my head, somewhere around 50% plus or so. Then you've got the Japanese yen and the Great British pound. Those 3 currencies make up the majority of the basket. You do have the Swiss franc and the Swedish krona. And the Canadian dollar. And so when we take a look at what we've got out here, you had the euro. Right now, the euro is coming against its swing point from March the 16th. The low on that is 1.30480. You're trading at 1.3034. So you're pushing right up against that area. Yesterday, it absolutely rejected lows. It rejected a swing point all the way back to February 16th. What the euro is trying to do, though, if you take a look at this, is always the ultimate of a Gartley buy or a Gartley sell pattern. The Gartley sell pattern is what the euro here established going all the way back to February 24th. That is your A point. Your B point, your B point here is down at March the 15th. Your C point would be right up here where you made that Gartley sell pattern on March 27th. A 1-to-1 takes you down to 129. What else do you have down at 129? Well, what you'd want to do is you want to make sure you do your retracement from the area of the lows that we look at, and those lows are going back into the January time frame, January 16th to be specific, when you had the euro trading out at 1.26248. Well, if you go from the lows all the way up to the high that was established February 24th, what you will see yesterday is what you did and what also stopped it in its tracks was you got to that 0.618 area, and you got to that area beautifully. In fact, that's what one of our guys in the den here was telling us. So you've got that 0.786 area. That is one of the things that held. If you know where the euro is headed to is more likely into the 127 area. If that's going to be that 0.786, that's going to be a test of a swing point out there. Now, the swing point that you're looking at really in the euro is going to be the swing point from January 13th. So as the euro makes its way down to 1.28771, it's going to run into a little bit of turbulence, because what you're also going to complete there is a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD pattern. So that is if the low on the euro that was put in yesterday and Sunday, that low being 1.29537, if that thing holds. And if you're bearish, that's what you want to see. You want to see this thing give way, because that'll put some strength in King dollar. And so that is on the currencies. And really, it is primarily the euro that you want to be taking a look at. If we go take a look at the yen, let's go see what is going on in the yen. You're not going to see much movement here. Really, nothing more than a little bit of a sideways action here in the yen. Yen trading out at 79.83. Not much to report there, although it is making an AB equals CD down. So the yen is also getting stronger. That's where you want to look to be a buyer of the yen as it gets into the 77 area. 77, maybe it's 78. But right inside that area is where you want to be taking a look at the yen. That's what we're going to be doing as far as lining up the Nikkei with the yen as it moves down into that area. If we take a look at the Great British Pound, you're not going to see much movement in the pound either. You can see really just a sideways day in the pound, so there's not much here to offer you from a trade standpoint. It really is all about the euro. If we go take a look at what's going on around the world, let's go take a look at the DAX. Well, we could take a look at the DAX. Now, put up the DAX, but let's first start off and take a look actually at Spain. Let's look at the IBEX, and what you're seeing is your trade now right now at 77.60. And if we go ahead, first what I'm going to do here, now what the IBEX did yesterday was it made one of Steve's favorite candles, made a bullish engulfing candle, engulfed the prior two sessions. But let's also go see what it was doing as it got down there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch over to the weekly chart. And this is important because, we talk about markets making a move. Doesn't matter what chart it is that you're looking at on the screen. It wouldn't matter whether this is the Diamond ETF, whether this was the SPYs, or whether this was the IBEX. So in this case here, we're looking at the IBEX, we're looking at Spain, and what Spain has done is gone down and tested. It's gotten down close to the bottom of its lows going back to March, the week of March 13th. So we know we're talking about the March 9th time frame. And so what you're looking at here is the IBEX actually traded down to a low in the week of March the 13th, got down to a low 67.0260. What you actually did yesterday was you got down to a low of 67.43. So you didn't make it all the way down there, but, it's close enough in my work. Now, this is the weekly chart. So the weekly chart says you are inside this candle. It's either going to get tested or, as I pointed out on the daily chart there, you did make a bullish engulfing candle. So it's very important for this area here to hold. Is this just taking a timeout before it actually got down to the swing point? And at this stage, that's all that it's really doing is taking a timeout, because in order for this to reject price, it would have to reject the actual swing point, not just the swing point low, but it would have to close up above. On the weekly chart, it would have to close up above that March 13th 09 area. That was a high of 75.43. You are well off that because you're trading at 70.68 right now. So, it is important always when and if you take a look at ABC patterns out there, we take a look at the ABC on the weekly basis. Our A point is going to be January 8th, 2010, all the way down to the low that was put in on June 11th. That's our C point, our B point. And then as it makes a retracement all the way up into February 18th, 2011. So you can see here, first, it makes the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. It does that, folks, and it does that here almost really perfectly. It does that during the week of September 16, 2011. Makes the 1-to-1, moves a little bit sideways, builds up some cause, and then starts heading lower. Well, the 1 to 1.272, you can see, is really just below that March 13th area. So, again, we're not about being 100% exact here. We're just looking always for outstanding results. So far, the results here are fairly outstanding when you take a look at chart analysis and take a look at this thing going back and already testing those lows. Now, As we know, on the larger time frame, if you take a look at a monthly chart, you can find larger, even on the weekly chart, you can take a look at larger A to B equals CD patterns. That A point would start all the way back up at the highs on November of 2007. And that would be one heck of an ABC down. And not that that can't happen. But right now, it's making a move. It's doing what it's supposed to do. It doesn't matter what chart you're looking at. If we go switch back here to the daily chart tomorrow, tomorrow I'll be able to tell you whether or not this bullish engulfing candle was confirmed and if you can expect some higher price. What would higher price in this here? Well, at a minimum, what you'd be looking at a 0.382 retracement off of at least the last down leg. That would take you up to the 74.76 area. That would be on the IBEX. Let's go take a look at the DAX now, see what the DAX, what they're doing over in Germany. Still only May, so it's not Oktoberfest. They can't be drinking and celebrating and having a party. The DAX having an inside day right now, trading out at 65.17 and 56 cents. And you can see here really just rejecting lows yesterday, closing back inside the swing point going back to April the 23rd. What you've done this morning in the DAX is all you've done is you've tested that swing point again. The low of that swing point is 66.68. What you did get down to this morning is 65.76. You're trading out at 65.22 right now. So you've got that. And what the DAX is doing, the DAX is making an A to B equals CD down. Now, may have had volume yesterday, and we can check that out when Tom comes in. It may have had volume, but it still rejected the swing point on price. So it looks like it's stalling here, building up some energy in order to complete the 1 to 1.272 A to B equals CD down. I expect the DAX to make its way down into the 5,900 area. But right now, just simply building some cause, going sideways, can travel anywhere from the lows of yesterday all the way up maybe to the C point, or in that C point range from May the 2nd. And that's going on with the DAX. Let's go take a look at, let me see if my system seems to be back up. 32.99. Now, I can't really take a look at fossil. I'm going to do that, though, because we're going to be coming into the break, so I can wipe that sweat off my forehead. How'd I do not having very much live data, folks? I'm getting some data feed, but I'm not getting everything. Anyways, stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few minutes, and hopefully I've got my charts working correctly then. We'll be right back, folks.
Yeah, we'll look at them stars and we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on U.S. Treasuries, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit tfnn.com today.
What you think about, you bring about. What you focus on grows. If you're committed to becoming an extraordinary trader and investor, then make mastery your outcome. Yes, my best student, Steve Rhodes, became my best teacher. But even more important is what he's taught me, and the time is now for you to take advantage of his knowledge.
Thanks, Tom. I've learned that it's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, but what we do consistently. I want to teach you the consistency that exists in the stock, futures, forex, and commodity markets day in, day out. For one solid day, Friday, May 18th, I'm going to conduct an online master trader course that'll teach you how to buy and sell the D point. This one pattern alone, with the single best entry and exit techniques, when combined with my money management strategies, will create extraordinary rewards for you and your family. The course will be archived so you can review it as many times as you'd like, and it'll teach you to become a master. All the details are on the homepage at tfnn.com. Sign up today, because mastery is one click away. It's your decisions, not your conditions, that determine your destiny.
Wow! Go get him, folks.
Catch Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. The Money Masters, next on TFNN.
It's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at them stars when we're together. Well, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Not only is it better when we're together, it's better when I've got a good data feed and good charts out here, folks. 877-927-6648. Got the Dow down 79 points right now. S&P's off 8, Composite off 20, small caps off 5, Apple trading down $3. And let's go take a look at Mako. I just happened to pop this up on my screen and, talk about understanding A to B equals CD patterns. Take a look at Mako as it started its A point, which was down here December 30th, 2011, when it was trading down. The low on that was 26.34. It makes a run up into the B point. That is the January 26th. And folks, when I talk about A points, B points, C points, what we're looking at is what we'll call major intersections, where we're taking a look at swing points. We're taking a look at where the market certainly changes its trend, and it's a significant one for you to take a look at. Certainly, just like when you drive and you pass down, you've got major intersections, and then you have other streets and roads, turn into subdivisions and so forth. So does the market. But when you're taking a look at the larger A, B equals C, D, what I love about being able to buy and sell the D point is you're letting the market already give you 3/4, give you 75% of the information, so that you don't have to guess where an A point, a B, or a C is. You're able to do that. You're able to visually take a look at it on any chart. Doesn't matter what you're looking at. Doesn't matter whether it's an ETF, whether it's a stock, whether it's a currency, whether it's a commodity. It just simply doesn't matter. In this case here, the B point on Mako was up at the January 26th level when it got up to a high of 37.90. What's it do? A normal thing, a normal breathing pattern. Pulls back, and it pulls back into the February 9th area when it makes a low of 32.18. So now we've got our A, our B, and our C. All you need is a formation tool to draw that pattern, a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD, and then you need to learn how to become a master of that C to D leg and a real master of that D point. Well, the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD, folks, projected at 45.10. What did Mako actually trade up to? Well, on March 26th, it got up to a high of $45. Closed at $44.98. Opens up the next session at $45. Closes, though, at $43.75. So you make a 1-to-1 A to B equals C to D, and then you're looking. So you've got to, you because you have your A and your B point, your A, B, and your C. That is absolutely a leading indicator pattern because you are drawing it well in advance of price actually making it up there. Now, Mako had some nice action in it the day of March the 20th. You had 3 million shares in there. But as it completed the D point, and as it actually got up there, completed the D point, what you did have was you had a bearish engulfing candle that followed on the session on March 27th. Then you had follow-through on that the following trading session. Now, where Mako is trading all the way down at $26.16, and you talk about volume coming out. Folks, this is a huge balloon with volume coming out. We've only been trading here for 27 minutes. You've got 4.9 million shares already. Is there any other day where Mako's got 4.9 million shares? Well, not that I see on my charts. I wonder, this must be came public in February. Let me just refresh this since I did have some data problems. Let's just see if we go back any further than this. Doesn't look like it. So it looks like these guys came public in the February 2008 time frame. And today having its largest volume, unfortunately, it's its largest volume to the downside, folks, coming all the way back. So in one day, how do you like that? In one day, making a 100% move of a move, getting all the way back to that A point, and it's coming back there with volume. You know what that says, folks. That says lower prices coming. Now, how about this pretty cool island reversal candle that Mako did down here? You want to be on the eye, always looking for those island reversals to the top or bottom. Folks, thanks for joining me. Thanks for putting up with having some difficulties, some technical difficulties. Sharpen your interest on two major subjects, life and people, folks. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow morning.